Feel like there's more to this place.
We're back at it. It's only been about 2 minutes.
There's gotta be some way to turn the wheel up here.
So yeah, this is really for posterity because like there's nobody who's going to.
Well there! Give a man some warning if he's about to suddenly end up snout deep in cheek.
The ground.
Was that an earthquake?
Snout.
An occasional
Deep
but not unheard of
in
happenstance
cheek.
in Spartafine. With all the mining here, the land's bound to be a wee bit bothered.
Think you can reach the wheel from here?
I don't always know. I just kind of figure it out.
Oh wow. Nice job getting it to lower exactly where we need it.
Listen,
I
I
was
do
thinking,
one.
because it's so warm, maybe it's not that the
Ah.
cold hasn't made it here yet, but
There's a chest up
maybe
there.
it's just different in Svartalfheim?
Aye, lad. Thimble winter doesn't strike all realms quite the same way.
Weird that Thimble winter doesn't always make it winter.
In Midgard it does, but as you can see, the effects here appear far more gaseous in nature. Observe the geysers. Observe the aforementioned
Someone
aroma.
about the store.
These effects were present before in some form, but now
Interesting.
there's new extremity to them.
When he didn't pick that up, I assumed it was something else. But I am glad that I came back to get that.
Kratos, buddy, you can open that chest in a million other ways. But it's okay.
So yeah, like we haven't recorded since back in July, and like I think a good portion, and I do mean a good portion, of the Pokemon series and the Shredder's Revenge, I'm coughing something serious in most of those videos, like a very wet cough. Like it didn't feel wet at first. Like at first, it honestly felt kind of dry. But you can definitely hear that I'm coughing something up from time to time. It could mostly because I'm spitting it out near the microphone.
Which I think we kind of make a joke of that you're literally drowning at some point.
No, I think that was you that we talked
Yeah,
about
that's what-
because y'all two, you and
Oh, yeah.
Wavy, definitely sounded like y'all were having the struggles. You for
Think we
sure.
can fit under that bridge?
Yeah.
Well, turns out that it just wasn't a cough. Turns out I fucking had pneumonia. Well, I don't know if it was necessarily if you'd call it pneumonia, but I was coughing up fluid because I had what they refer to as fluid overload, which, if you were, it's what it sounds like. It's when your body doesn't get rid of the fluid in, your body doesn't get rid of the fluid that it produces as waste, or that you take in, and it starts to back up. And like I was dealing with a lot of swelling and a bunch of shit, just a bunch of not so great experiences. And it turns out that the reason for that was because my kidneys were failing, which I had already knew. Like I knew earlier I knew earlier this year that I had been told that like I was having like that my kidneys were failing, but I wasn't 100% sure. Like I've got to stop believing the fucking X. I wasn't 100% sure like how much.
Watch your left!
What the fuck? God damn it. But yeah, like they were trying to. I don't know what exactly my my doctors were trying to do. They were supposedly trying to like help get my blood pressure under control, which would help slow the damage to my kidneys, shit like that. Blah 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 blah. It really just comes down to I ended up there was a moment on a Friday where I just could not breathe. And so I ended up going to the calling 911. And it was nuts because when the paramedics got here, like I just couldn't breathe. It wasn't like I was like having like a hard time breathing. I couldn't fucking breathe. Like I was really struggling. Like it wasn't just like a slight asthma attack or some bullshit like that. Like I couldn't fucking breathe. And like when the paramedics got here, like I don't know dear listener, I don't know what you know about like the stuff I'm discussing, but my O2 levels I think were like in the 60s, which is trash. Which like they don't want your shit to drop below like your oxygen concentration in your blood. Your blood oxygen shouldn't be below 95. And my shit was probably in the 60s. They got me stable like within like a day or so. Like no, I'm sorry, they not a day or so. They got me stable within like a couple of hours. But I was in a small town hospital, and they were like, yeah,
Father,
we can't.
there.
What's up? Oh shit! Like we can't do nothing for you here, but yeah, you ain't doing so good. Like you need to go to a bigger hospital. And so that's what happened. I went to a bigger hospital. They sent me upstate Missouri. I guess technically mid-state Missouri. Upstate would be St. Louis. Mid-state Missouri. Because I'm all the way at the bottom. And, like, long story short, the nephrologist on call was like, hey, I've seen you before. I was like, I saw you earlier this year. I was like, yeah, what's up? And he was like, your kidneys have not gotten better. And I was like, okay. And he was like, at the rate you're going, like you're gonna be on dialysis before the end of the month, which is a weird thing to tell somebody. Like just like, you fucking dying, bruh. Which is, you know, what is effectively what he could have just said. Would have been funnier, at the very least. And I told him like, well, man, if that's the case, let's figure out what we need to do to.
Find anything good up there?
No, not really. Let's figure out what the fuck we need to do to get our shit together, like so I can get my shit together. Where the fuck am I going? I feel like I need to go this way. There's no way. No. So yeah, like long story short, I was in the hospital for about 2 weeks. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks, like solid, like 3 Fridays in a row. At no point did I feel like I was going to die. They put the access tubes in my in my neck. It's this thing. It's a catheter that's going into like the carotid artery on the right side of my neck, and I'm doing what is called hemodialysis, where they pull your blood out and they pump it through a filter and then they push it back in. Over the course of this game, you are going to learn where the fuck am I going.
That's a weird thing to learn.
Over the course of the game, you are going to learn a lot about dialysis. You're gonna learn a lot about a lot of stuff. I'm gonna assume that that was it. Like that there's nothing left for me to do there, and that I need to go somewhere else. I want to say that it all sucks, but of course it sucks. I was like, you know, my kidneys don't work, and like they didn't figure out why my kidneys don't work. It's just like, yeah, they don't. Like there was some function left, but not enough, which is why I was dealing with the fluid overload, like my skin had got real grody. Like a lot of things weren't going so high, and it was all because of the kidney failure. When your kidneys aren't working, they aren't filtering your blood, and if they're not filtering your blood is basically just a toxic goo that's being pumped through all of your being pumped through all of your organs, and your body doesn't care for it. Your skin kind of gets grody. You can get itchy. It can do damage to your lungs. I don't really know what the fuck all happened to me. Outside of that, like I know my skin cleared up once I started doing dialysis.
I mean, in general, like when one part, like it's basically a machine. Like once one part starts doing its job, like everything else kind of like starts.
Yeah. Like when anything like in the body starts to not do what it's supposed to do, other things like, cause for what it's worth, like with my kidneys not working means that I was taking on a lot of extra fluid. The extra fluid meant that my blood pressure was going up because my heart was working extra hard to try to get that fluid pumped out. So when my kidneys not doing their thing properly, my blood pressure went up. My blood pressure going up. Like it became a snake eating its own tail. Yeah. There just was no.
But the water doesn't reach.
There just didn't seem to be a way to like you couldn't, like there was no going back to a normal life without like the dialysis. And I told them like, yo, like don't send me home. Just like please don't send me home and like leave me in a situation where like I have to like my kidneys completely fail and then I have to like go to an emergency, like do the shit all over again. So I was like, you know, let's get it crack-a-lacking like right now, right here, right now. And I guess like the point of
froze one of those geysers. Is there another one somewhere?
like the point of me saying, yeah, that one. I don't know what else. I don't know how else to describe.
Word it.
Yeah, it. There we go.
Dad, the wheel's moving and the gate's coming down.
That's dwarven ingenuity for you.
Back to the boat.
Yeah, I want to say it sucks.
If the dwarves of this
Like
realm are anything like
it,
Rock the Century,
it does, but it
hard to imagine
doesn't.
them siding with Odin.
Like the amount of like,
Honestly, like having an answer,
even
if it's not a good one.
yeah, like helps a lot.
Odin offered them safety.
Hold on.
Defying him can be quite dangerous.
Maybe they just need a couple of gods to come along and take the fight to him.
Atreus, that is not why we are here.
I was only joking.
War
Which,
is
funny
not
enough,
a
there's an
joke,
episode of Scrubs that's like that.
especially where gods are concerned.
Say it again, please.
There's an episode of Scrubs that has that specific like conflict. Like the guy gets like a really bad answer as to what's wrong with him, but he's just like, I've been to so many doctors and everything that just knowing what it is more than like enough.
And so yeah, like the situation we were in before is like I was in before is my breathing was complete trash. I could barely move without like being being completely winded. Like I could barely walk from like here to the kitchen, which is, as a fat person, that's like very upsetting. It's upsetting to say it because of how it sounds, but it's also not a very
Like even
far
the normal
walk.
house standards, it's not a very far walk.
Yeah,
very
it's not a far
walk.
walk.
I'm glad we're out here.
And like I'd have to
Around.
like take a break
Maybe
almost
we could just try to enjoy
every
the
like
warmth.
5 feet to like catch my breath. And it wasn't just like catching my breath. It was just like there was no lung capacity to speak of. Like my body was really struggling to bring in, not only get air in, but
Looks
also
like we
pull
gotta
the
find a way
oxygen
to
out of
open
the
that
air
gate
that
if we want to get to meet
that
them.
I'm bringing in, which is still an issue. Like right now, that's still a problem. Is like my lungs aren't really working the way they're supposed to. What in the fuck is that? Friendly? Not friendly. Huh. Interesting. And yeah, like it's really hard to describe all of that like while playing a brand new game.
Brother, look. That strange bugger popped back out of the ground again.
It's too fast.
Then how shall we catch it?
Flank it. Attack from behind.
Good.
Well, yeah, like I was like the swelling in my knee, my legs.
You did it. Let's see what it dropped.
Like the swelling in my legs was like ridiculous. It was everywhere. Like I lost
Knee stuff.
was it 30 pounds? Like 30 pounds of fluid. Twice this year from going to the hospital and having them put me on diuretics and stuff like that.
Father,
Yeah, I lost like 30 pounds of fluid, which is a lot of fucking fluid. Like it's like 30 pounds to be carrying around with you when it's not like a part of your natural body is very difficult. Like it's
That's
super
like
difficult.
that's not even like a small dog. That's a medium-sized dog, like just latched into your body.
Yeah, and it's just like all fluid. Like when I say like
halfway there.
Oops, off.
like I
There's
pissed
gotta
it
be
out.
another chain to lower the rest of the gate.
You know what I'm saying? I pissed it the fuck out. Like, and it's wild to me. Like that, you know, that's what it was. And the sadder part is like that they knew that was what was going on, but they struggled to get my blood pressure under control. Like they kept putting me on different medications
Chain we
and
can
like,
pull up there.
and it just wasn't working. Like they kept putting me on different medications and it just didn't get the job done. And it took them basically it took too long. So what ended up happening is like things just slowly got worse to the point that it, you know, just was what it was. And like I'm not saying this like to however you take what I'm about to say, it, you know, I don't really care. But the day I ended up in the hospital,
Knock him down.
I remember sitting in my bedroom, realizing I was really having a hard time breathing. Like realizing I was having a real hard time breathing. But I knew I was gonna have to go to the bathroom sooner than later, because of one of my medications, which gives me the shits, because that's what it does. That was one of the issues that I was struggling with, was not being able to go to the bathroom. Oh, hello. And like that's how that Friday started. Like I didn't feel great, and I felt like I'd feel a little bit better if I just went to the bathroom. And so like I'm sitting in my bedroom, watching No Country for Old Men, and it's just like this moment of like I can't breathe. Like I'm struggling to breathe now, and I know if I get up and try to walk to the bathroom, it's only gonna get worse. And that's what happened. Like straight up, that's what the fuck happened. It got worse. But as I was sitting on the toilet, I remember like praying, like looking up like against like to the ceiling or whatever, however you want to word it, and like praying for my life back, just like wanting my life fucking back, because that's where I was. It was like my life had been like taken away from me. Like it would seem like it wasn't. Like I was technically still able to play games and like be able to blah 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 blah, but no. Okay, so I gotta be.
Block's coming down.
I hit it. Shut up. And then like yeah, and so I couldn't breathe. So my mom was calling 911, and like they eventually got here. And really okay. And like it led to this like 2-week adventure in the hospital. But I ain't gonna front, like it didn't suck.
The rope holding the block.
He looks like that. Let you know just how far
nice one.
behind I am.
Like it didn't suck that bad because like the first night I was in the hospital, like the first day I was in the hospital, I didn't feel like they knew what to do and they got my breathing under control and I felt a lot better. Like I was able to breathe, but they were very much like, "Yo, you're not okay. Like you got somewhere you gotta leave here." You know what I'm saying? And it freaks me out because like had I been like under the impression that I could like tough it the fuck out, I would have died. Like had that been what I chose to do, had I just been like, no, I think I'm okay, yeah, I'd have fucking died. Like that day. And it would have been the second time. It would have been the second time that I'd had issues breathing for this specific reason, where like I wasn't super sure if I was okay or not. And I wasn't sure about calling like 911.
The guys are under the wheel. Maybe.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's yeah.
Try hitting
I
the
wouldn't
holding the block.
I wouldn't have figured that out. I was very upset with myself.
That's one of Cavassier's poems. Very highbrow. You should collect any others you find.
Man, look, any poem that you can craft while sipping on Cavassier, it's either ratchet or not that good. Really don't know. I think that's it. It was like when I got out of the hospital, they were like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to do dialysis like 3 times a week."
Exactly. Are you hoping to learn from Tia?
Well, like I said, I was hoping he could tell me something about Loki. I'd also like to hear some of his stories. Traveling to other lands, giant stuff, and maybe about what it was like to fight back in the day. Just for the history.
3
obviously.
times a week.
History.
Let's hope Tia's in a
sorry.
talkative mood after being in prison for so long. Not all of Odin's captives can be as charmingly voluble as myself.
We have no proof Tyr is truly here.
Right.
So yeah, like they was like on some like you don't have to do dialysis 3 times a week. Getting it done, like getting to the appointment at first was just a pain in the ass because like the schedule I was on, I had to be there at 6 a.m. Like the first when I first got out, my schedule was Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 6 a.m. And just to put it mildly, for me to be, like to put it bluntly, for me to be ready to leave, but like for me to get where I gotta go, I gotta fucking
It's unlikely, but geological disturbances
get up 2
tend to be
hours
unpredictable.
before I gotta be there.
If the geysers and
Oh.
smell here are worse because of Fimbulwinter, maybe the earthquakes are too?
Aye, you might be onto something, lad.
So like when my schedule was at my chair time was at 6, I had to get up at 4
Atreus.
so I could be ready by like 5 o'clock.
Wow.
Because
Now
5:15
this looks like a city.
or 5:18 was about the time. When they would the medical transport would show up to pick me up, and like I didn't necessarily have to get up a full hour ahead of time, but like
Hey, dwarves!
when you're not driving,
There
you know
are
it's nice to be
on
like
their way.
super duper ahead of everybody else. Like don't have the person that's doing you the solid like have you out there waiting on you. And like real shit, one fucking time I missed the person who what was it? I think it was on a Saturday. It was either on a Saturday or like a Thursday.
Only sound an alarm like that if I still had my body and was fearing the notion of being detached.
This motherfucker
from
just spit in the
How
water.
is
What
that
the
for
hell
us,
is that?
though?
They are scared.
Yeah, so the motherfucker, like the lady, like came to the house, and I just fell asleep. Like the alarm went off at 4,
Why is everybody
and I nodded
hiding?
the fuck back off.
Stay alert.
And apparently she was like, she called me and was like, "Yo, I'll be at your house in like 5 minutes." And I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a little late, but I will be coming out there. And normally when they picked me up, wasn't nobody else in the ride with them. So like I'm thinking, you know, like she got plenty of time. Like I ain't got to be there till 6. It takes 30 minutes to get there. Like if you get here at 5 o'clock, I got motherfucking time.
There'll be no help, to be sure. Best we find the tavern Sindri mentioned on our own, and hope they let us in.
I'm thinking I got time.
The buildings here really are incredible.
The detail in the woodwork is quite extraordinary.
Interesting.
Okay, now I'm getting all those things you were talking. The pre-order shit.
All of my lovely pre-orders. Yeah, pre-order gifts.
Is that a statue of Odin? They must really love him here.
Orpheus.
So
Bring
yeah.
the head.
So yeah, it took me longer to get out there, get out the door than I thought it would. You know, I'll walk out the door, she ain't fucking out there, and I'm thinking like, you know, like it's just taking her a little bit longer to find my house than normal, because finding my house is apparently very difficult if you're using a GPS. And so like as I'm stepping out of the house,
Sindri,
the dialysis
I
clinic,
surprise, but I did know you'd be here. I've got something for you.
the dialysis clinic is calling me. Like as I open the door and step my foot outside, my phone rings and it's the people at the clinic. And one of the people was like, yo, like, are you coming in this morning? I was like, yeah. And she was like, well, the lady, like the driver just called and said, you know, that like they came out there for you, but you didn't show up. And I was like, I'm standing outside. Like I just got out here. And so like, when I tell you, like it wasn't that long, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Maybe. And she was like, well, maybe you can call her and she'll turn around and come back. I called that lady twice. And like, she just never answered the phone. Never fucking answered the phone. And it bugged me because I know she hadn't left Caruthersville yet. Like, she hadn't left. Like, you used to live here. You know it takes more than like 5 minutes to leave. Like, I'm on the other end of town. Like, I'm on the ass end of Caruthersville. It's like, you know it takes a minute to leave. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So she just didn't answer the phone. She wasn't picking up. She wasn't calling back. She wasn't coming back. So I had to call him and tell him, like, well, I ain't gonna make it because she ain't coming back. And like that was because like I said, I had to go 3 times a week, and like transportation doesn't run. Only one company runs on Saturdays, and I wasn't a part of their normal schedule, so I was only going twice a week. So the first month I was supposed to be doing dialysis. Like I was missing like big chunks of time. Like that I like, cause you go like once every other day. So like I'll go tomorrow, not tomorrow. Well, yeah, tomorrow, but I'll go Friday. Then I won't go Saturday and Sunday, but then I go Monday, then I go Wednesday, and then I go Friday. Like that's the schedule. And so the whole point is you're only missing like a day or 2 between treatments because your blood isn't being cleaned, and that's the issue. But if you're supposed to be there Friday, are you shitting me?
One less feathery spy.
Oh, well, Mark,
Mm-hmm.
that's happening. Oh my God. Well, I totally missed some before because I kept hearing them, and I just didn't see them. Like I didn't look around for them. Just assumed they wouldn't be there.
What, the bird?
Yep.
Mm.
So like, yeah, that's just what happened. Like you're missing those days. So if you're supposed to be there Friday, but you don't go Friday, and your next day is Monday, you only went Wednesday. So that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's 4 days that you're not going, and like the toxins in your blood and shit aren't being flushed out and cleaned. So your body is really struggling to like keep it together over those couple of days, and that's what was happening. That was until they switched my time my days to Monday, you know, the current schedule, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and they had me coming in at 1 p.m. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, that's the shit. Like, I ain't got to get up all early in the morning. That's great. But then they was like, hey, we're going to need you to start coming in at 7. Like, not 7, I'm sorry, 9. And I was like, why? And it was like, because if we need to extend your time, because when I was going, like, I was like one of the last people there. And I think I did it 3 times where I went in at 1. I did it like either 3 or 4 times. And by the time I got home, I think I did it twice maybe. By the time I got home, it was dark. Like one night, because it was me, this dude named Donnie, and this girl named Shelly. Like the 3 of us would be the last motherfuckers in there. And it was, one night it was all the way goddamn dark before we got home. Because it was after 7 o'clock. Like it was after 7 o'clock. And they was like, yeah, we can't leave until y'all are finished. And so if y'all are holding us up, then we can't go home. And that sucks. And it's like, and if we have to keep extending your time, and you know, because I was going in for like 4 hours and 15 minutes at first. And now I'm going in for 4 hours and 30 minutes. And the reason for that apparently is because I'm a big guy, my body has more blood in it than the average person, like than a smaller person. So it takes more time to clean my blood. Because they get like a sample of your blood at the beginning of treatment and after treatment and try to see how effective the cleaning is. At least that's, you know, what life is or has been for the past couple of months. There's a lot of stuff has happened in between there, and like I'm gonna probably get like into some of it like as time goes, as like the series goes on. But yeah, that's almost died. Was coughing up fluid on camera, like on video. And the crazy part about it was, you really can't tell that I don't sound that bad. Like I was going back and listening to some of the old footage, like the stuff that I hadn't edited, like I was editing stuff down. I don't sound sick. I probably sound as much just like I do right now, except I'm just not coughing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's kind of embarrassing. A part of me feels like it's like one of those fat people things, like, but it's not. Like renal failure can hit anybody for a litany of reasons. Drugs is one of them. Like dead ass, if you do like a lot, like any drug that you do that you snort or shoot up, your kidneys hate it. Straight up, your kidneys fucking hate it. And so, like, if you're fat and you've done drugs, like, or rather, let me just say, if you have high blood pressure or you're diabetic, and on top of that, you used to do drugs, there's a good chance that your fucking kidneys are gonna fail. Because like you're doing too much to them. I'll teach y'all a lot about that shit later on. Because we're over and I've just been standing here. So until next time, Mark, anything?
Don't do drugs.
Unless, you know, it's weed, which, you know, that's not a drug.
Legal in most states. Legal here.
Rest in peace to Takeoff from the Migos, man. So all you younger, man, ain't nobody rich finna see this video. Don't do what he did. If you're rich, don't hang out with people who ain't rich. Like, you got a good chance of getting shot. All right, y'all, get out.